Hello guys, and welcome back again to my channel. My name is Gloria, and if this is your very first time tuning into my channel, I want to say thank you so much. I don't take it for granted, and so please don't forget to hit that red subscribe button, the button that looks like this color. Yes, just hit that red subscribe button for me. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. In today's video, we're going to be talking about LMIA, visitors visas changing to LMIA here in Canada. So if you are a visitor and you're here in Canada and you're wondering, LMIA, what is LMIA? How can I get LMIA job? We're going to be talking about that in this video. So please stick around, don't go anywhere, and make sure you watch this video until the end so that you can know the information that you need to know, because they say knowledge is what? Power. So LMIA, what is LMIA? Labor Market Impact Assessment. It means that an employer here in Canada has made a job posting online and has looked for Canadian citizens or permanent residents or those with work permits to fill in that job. Now, they don't get these people to come and work for them. So they now have to apply for an LMIA with the government. They have to pay for it. I know I've talked about this in many of my videos. Even there was a video I recently made about this. I'll keep the link. I'll drop the links in the description box so that you can go back and watch it. They now apply for it. If it's approved, it means that they can now hire workers from outside of Canada to come and work for them. Remember, the employer is paying for this LMIA, so it is not free. It means then that you, who is coming from abroad to Canada, must first apply for a job. That's the truth. You need to apply for a job, and it is employer specific, meaning that that job is specific to that employer. It is called a closed work permit. I'm going to quickly read something from the Government of Canada's website so that you can understand the difference between an open work permit and a closed work permit. Like I said, the closed work permit is employer specific, while an open work permit, you can work for any employer in the country. But the truth is that for LMIA jobs, you have to work for a specific employer. Now, I got this information from the Government of Canada, like I said earlier on. It says that an open work permit lets you work for any employer except for one that is listed as ineligible or regular offers services. You can only get an open work permit in specific situations. Open work permits, again, are not employer specific. They don't need to get an LMIA from the government, and they don't need to get an employee or apply for this with a fee. So the open work permit here, they say it has restrictions. So there are some jobs that you will need to have a medical exam, and there are some jobs that are different for different provinces. So if you are a visitor and you're coming to Canada as a visitor, and you're looking to switch your visitor's visa into a work permit, it means that you must have first looked for an LMIA job. When you get that LMIA job and you have been approved, that employer will give you what we call an employment letter. It is that employment letter that you would now use to obtain your work permit. I know of people who have come to Canada as visitors and have gotten an LMIA job, and they are working for that particular employer. Now, this is something that people don't tell you, and that is why I'm making this particular video today. With the LMIA job, like I said earlier on, that it's employer specific, it means that you're going to work for that employer. And if the employer states in your letter that you're only here for 1 year, it means that you can't work for any other employer. After your job is done or your contract is done, you have to go back to your country of origin. Now, what most people would do literally in this sense is that they would apply for either school, or they would apply for something different to change their status from what they are to something different. because they do not want to go back to their home country, and that is the reason why they quickly switch their visas into something different. This video is in no way trying to tell you this is how you should do things, because I am making this video as a disclaimer based off on my own experience, on my knowledge of looking at information from the government of Canada's website. That website is www.cic.gc.ca. That is where you get all the information about Canada immigration, how to come to Canada as a student, how to come to Canada as a visitor, how to get a work permit, how to come as a permanent resident, and how to apply under the express entry portal to become permanent residents here in Canada. Now, we're talking about the LMIA. Recently, I just heard, and I don't know how true it is, but I heard that most people are selling LMIA. Now, this is not good, because if the government gets to find out about it, many people will go down for it. Now, the LMIA job that I heard, they said they were paying 40,000, some say 30,000, some say 20,000, different provinces, that you can get an LMIA job. And these people who are doing, these employers who are doing it, they know fully well that these people who come with visitors visas are looking for a way to stay in the country without going back to their home country. And that's why they are now putting money on top of all these things, because they know that these people they need this particular job in order for them to stay in the country. But the one thing that they don't tell them is that these employers do not just give you a work permit for eternity or a job for eternity. Sometimes, and most times, this job have an end date. So it could be 1 year, it could be 2 years. It depends on that. And remember, if you work for a certain period of time, you can apply to become a permanent resident in this country. Did you know that? Yes, I'm sure you didn't even know that you can apply for permanent residence even though you are working for an employer-specific job. You can still apply for what we call a permanent residency. And the good thing about permanent residency is after some years, you can now become a Canadian citizen. See, there are lots of things to enjoy. There are benefits of staying in this country. I've made tons of videos about how you can enjoy yourself in this country, how you can get to know things around your area, how to go about things here in this country. I have made several videos about this. Please go and watch my videos, because it will enlighten you and tell you how you can go about these things. So one other thing that I wanted to share with you from here is something that people have asked me in different videos. They've said, what is an LMIA? And they want to really know. And today I have decided that because I'm talking about LMIA jobs, I am going to show you from the Government of Canada website what it tells us about the LMIA. Again, the information will be from the Government of Canada website, www.cic.gc.ca. Now it says, an LMIA, which is a labor market impact assessment, is a document that an employer in Canada may need to get before hiring a foreign worker. A foreign worker is anybody who lives outside of Canada. A positive LMIA shows that there is a need for a foreign worker to fill the job. It will also show that no Canadian worker or permanent resident is available to do that job, like I said earlier. So you guys know that I'm saying everything from what I have read, okay? A positive LMIA is sometimes called a confirmation letter. If the employer needs an LMIA, they must apply for one. Gloria is not just saying things from her head, because she knows that it can get her in trouble if she's not saying it directly from the Government of Canada website. That's why I'm always going back to the Government of Canada website to read it for you verbatim. Now, I say once the employer gets the LMIA, the worker can now apply for a work permit, like I said. And to apply for a work permit, there are different things that the worker needs to get. Number one, the job offer letter, because before you get the work permit, the immigration officer wants to see that you have an offer letter. You also have a contract, because that contract will specify how long the duration of your job with this particular employer would be. Is it 2 years? Is it 1 year? Is it 6 months? It will state that on the contract letter. A copy of the LMIA that the employer has already received from the Government of Canada, you have to attach this, and also the LMIA number. the LMIA or usually would have a number, so you will use that to apply for the work permit. And you can apply for the work permit on the Government of Canada website directly. You don't actually need any agent to help you with making that application. It's really straightforward. The Government of Canada website has different guides on how to fill different forms, such that you don't even need to ask anybody, please, I don't know how to do this, or you go and pay somebody X amount of money because you want to apply for a work permit. I tell people these things are really straightforward, and the Government of Canada has made it easy, very easy, that even if you didn't go to school, you will be able to know step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 until the end, and then submit your application. The application fees are not that thousands of naira or whatever that your agent in your home country is telling you. Like even study permits, $150, visitors visa, $100, Canadian dollars, I mean. These things are not rocket science. You just need to find that information. And the problem we have with our people is that they fail to make their own research. They believe that they can't do it themselves. They also believe, because the agents have told them that without using an agent, you will not be able to submit your application. So it has been ingrained in them that they can't do it themselves. So that is the reason why you see a lot of people asking, how did you do this? How did you do that? Because they just don't want to do it themselves. And they just don't want to believe in themselves. And that is the reason why some of them fall into the hands of wicked agents who take their money and do not give them the information that they need. So I've talked a lot about that. There are also conditions on different work permits that people usually would have. It depends on what is written on your work permit visa. So that work permit visa that they give you most times at the airport, like for study permit holders, international students, they usually would write on their permit that they are not allowed to work, or they are allowed to work full time. You know, it tells them what their conditions are. So the same thing applies to those who are looking for a work permit. They also would have conditions on their permit. Their permit could tell them that you have to leave Canada by this particular time, or you have to do so and so. It will state that on your permit. That's why I often tell people that once you get your work permit or your study permit, always read towards the end. You will see where it states conditions. So most times there are conditions on your permit and you would not know, and that thing can even get you into trouble if you don't read that particular information. So the one thing I want to say on this video before I end this video, because I really wanted to delve into the LMIA thing, and that yes, I don't want to discourage anybody. A lot of people who came to Canada with visitors visa are getting this LMIA job, and your case would not be different. You just need to make sure you get the right information. Reach out to people, let people know that because Canada has a policy in place that allow those who are holders of visitors visa currently in Canada to apply for an employer specific work permit. That policy would end very soon. You know, very soon it will end, and who knows what's going to be the next policy. I tell people, Canada immigration is always rapidly changing. There are new laws, there are new information on a daily basis. Like the other day now, study permit holders were informed that their living expense is going to increase to $20,635. Imagine, from $10,000. So if you don't have that $20,635 as living expense, what are you going to do? So that's why I tell people, make hay while the sun shines. Do things immediately. Do not procrastinate, because you never can tell when the policy is going to suit you or not suit you. So it is good that you use the opportunity while you can. So on this note, guys, I hope that I've been able to convince you that if you have a visitor's visa and you are already in Canada, you can apply for a work permit, an LMIA job. Once you get an LMIA job, yes, you have to look for that job. Find the job, apply to the job. They give you an employment letter and a contract, and then you go and apply for a work permit and start working in Canada and become a resident fully in this country. So on this note, I want to say thank you so much. If you've watched this video up until now and you haven't deemed it fit to hit the like button, now is that opportunity for you to hit the like button for me. I want to get as many likes on this video. And please don't forget to leave me a comment, share the video to your friends and family members and those who you know are interested in and this kind of information, because when you move or share this video to others, YouTube will share the video to people who are interested in this kind of information. And again, subscribe to my channel. It's free of charge, and that's one way you are supporting me on this channel. Don't forget to watch the videos that will pop up on your screen, because they would also take you to other videos that I've made in the past about either visitors visa or work visas or how to immigrate to Canada. And like I said, all the information that I share is based on the Government of Canada website, where you can get information that is readily available and accessible to everybody by just doing a Google search and making sure that you are on the right website, because I've heard that they are scam websites, so be very, very wary of those. So until I see you in my very next video, which will be sometime next week, God's grace, take care and bye.